Is it live?
Welcome back to the journey, the quest to review every episode of the X-Files. Have a look at Season 4, Episode 6, Sanguinarium. Sanguinarium starts off with a pretty gory, pretty grim fucking scene.
Well, it's a cool name, too. It's Sang, which is blood, so it's like an aquarium of blood.
Or like a sanitarium, right? Except it's a bloody sanitarium.
Or like a planetarium.
The planetarium. Anyway. So it opens up with the doctor. They're in this plastic surgeon place, and he's giving liposuction to this fat bitch. But somewhere along the line, like he keeps liposuctioning the fat out of her until there's no fat. He's sucking out blood.
No, he's not. This woman's being prepped for liposuction. But the nurse goes into where he's getting ready, and he's like scrubbing his hands.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gone through the skin, so his fingers are just bleeding. Then you see him put on the gloves, and the insides are covered with blood. And he told the nurse to prep his other patients that are coming up as well. And a guy's getting like a fucking scalp reduction or whatever the fuck. And then he's gone in and he's giving liposuction to this skinny guy that came in for a fucking scalp reduction. And it started sucking all the blood out of him.
That's right. Yeah, so it's a fucking gross scene.
It's pretty fucking gruesome.
Yeah. This whole episode has a lot of like gruesome gore to it and shit like this. That was pretty good. You know, it added like a little bit of horror to the episode.
Yeah.
So Mulder and Scully are sent on to investigate this. You know, Scully thinks that it's kind of, it's just this guy saying he was possessed to avoid like legal liability. The doctor saying he was possessed by demons. But Mulder finds in the room, when he examines it, he finds like a pentagram burned into the floor. And he connects the dots
with blood
to form the pentagram.
He just takes like a fucking popsicle stick and dips it in the blood and connects the pentagram.
Some weird shit there, you know. So they're looking into this, and like they look into like the medications that he was on, and Mulder's like, well, there was Bella.
Oh, Scully thinks it's the sleeping pills. He's
yeah.
on like a soma fucking 10 or something like that.
Some drug like that, and then there's an ingredient in his like antacid that he's taking that's called like Bella Luna, which is
Belladonna.
Belladonna, there you go. So Mulder's thinking it's witchcraft and shit like this.
Because the belladonna is like witch's berry or witch's something.
Meanwhile, like the directors at this hospital are sitting around a table with a pentagram on it. You know?
Just in the wood, so they're fucking up to no good. They're talking about like that they don't want anyone to look at their books, or whatever, I don't know.
What doesn't make sense to me, though, is that I don't think, like, all the members of the hospital board were in on it, though.
I don't think they were all in on it.
But then why are they sitting at a table with a fucking pentagram?
Oh, they probably just don't realize, right?
But what the fuck? It's a fucking pentagram!
But it's not like it's, like, etched into the table. Like, it's in the design of the wood, right? Like, like the boards. They could just think it's aesthetic. Maybe they don't read into it quite so schizophrenically.
But no, man, nobody's going to sit down at a table with a fucking pentagram on it. It's like sitting down at a table with a swastika on it. It's like, whoa, like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't know. A lot of people look at, it's a star.
No.
I don't know.
No, I think, like...
No, it's not like when you look at, like, the Church of Satan pentagram with, like, the goat's head in it. Like, it's just a star in the wood.
It's a pentagram. I don't know. I think most people would be really weirded out sitting down at a table with a satanic pentagram in it. Maybe I'm just fucking nuts. But they don't even notice. Like, Mulder and Scully don't even notice when they walk in later that there's a fucking pentagram in the table. That's what... That's what confuses me.
You think Mulder would have picked up on that.
Yeah, I think Mulder
Maybe not Scully, but you'd think Mulder would have picked up on that.
So, yeah, the staff are, like, talking about, like, covering this up or whatever. Then there's another
Well, because of the financial incentive, right?
Yeah, because these are for-profit hospitals, and like half of the medical budget is coming from plastic surgery
And
now.
it shows how when you make mammon your god, it's really easy to cover up evils in the name of the money.
But
Which is a good idea.
Another person ends up getting fucking killed.
A lot of real world organizations, because money is their god, they let evil things happen, on a fucking daily basis, because all they care about is money.
So there's like this elderly woman who ends up with like leeches on her at one point. I think she ends up dying, doesn't she?
She's talking about how she can't feel her feet, and the nurse is picking the leeches off of her that have like formed.
There's
a
these
pentagram
big
on her
fucking
stomach.
bruises that have formed the pentagram. I don't.
Well, yeah, I know. And
I don't
she's
know
the
if
one where in the next scene, the next doctor, he's doing has the laser eye surgery, fucking
The gun.
lasers, and just burns a fucking tunnel through her head with the lasers.
Yeah.
That's her.
That's her. Okay, I thought it was somebody different.
No, that was her.
Okay, so I mean, at this point though, with at two deaths like this, you'd almost think they would close down the hospital.
But imagine just being a patient at this point, booking yourself for voluntary surgery in this hospital.
Let me pay tens of thousands of dollars.
Killed it, you a retard? What are you doing?
So there's a few little things that are off about this episode, a couple plot holes, but I mean, it's pretty interesting. There's the nurse who was putting the leeches on, Nurse Waits, ends up attacking the director of the hospital.
Well, what happens is fucking Mulder and Scully go into the room with the pentagram table, and they all blame Nurse Waits because she was there for the murders that happened there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
now she's back and the murders are starting again.
Yeah, and she's left work early for whatever reason. So then you see her doing her witchcraft. So you think she's in on it, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You're thinking, how can that make sense? Because she was freaking out when the two previous deaths happened.
So yeah, it is what it is. I like the director, I think was named Jack or something like this.
Jack Franklin.
Jack Franklin. He goes back to his home, and there's a bathtub that's got blood coming from the drain, and he goes over to shut off the blood, and the fucking nurse jumps out with a fucking knife
with a dagger,
this Satan dagger, and she cuts his fucking forehead, and they're struggling.
It says in blood on the mirror vanitas vanitatum, which means all is it says it's vanity of all vanities.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, it's vanity of all vanities. And Mulder and Scully and the police get there, and they take her into custody. And then she starts vomiting up pins. And she fucking dies from vomiting up all these pins.
And she says they're too strong, Because it turns out that she was burning the pentagrams into the floor of the room and onto the woman's stomach to protect them. And she was trying to use the witchcraft against fucking, the evil Satanists.
Yeah.
There,
And then Mulder...
It ultimately got fucked.
Yeah, Mulder and Scully keep investigating further, and they find out that, all these deaths are happening on, Sabbaths that match up with some date, except for one of the deaths doesn't, which was the death of this Dr. Cox, I think it was. And then they start to piece together that Dr. Franklin has fucking killed Dr. Cox and assumed his identity or whatever the fuck.
No, that's not what happened. Fucking Dr. Cox killed these fucking people as part of a blood ritual to fucking make himself more beautiful. And became Dr. Franklin.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah, they're
it's
the
not
same
they killed
person.
Dr.
Yeah,
Cox
okay.
and assumed his identity. It's the same person that just fucking transfigured themselves beyond the fucking grasps of modern science could with blood rituals.
Yeah. So that's basically what's going on in this episode. Another person ends up dying. They get acid poured on their face. It's pretty fucked up, that scene there. And then there's this one of the nurses, I guess, starts to catch on, and she ends up,
It's one of the female doctors.
or one of the female doctors.
Doctor.
Yeah, she starts to catch on, and fucking Dr. Franklin murks her, and then like puts her in surgery.
Well, he causes these fucking scalpels to fucking, he like teleports them into her intestines.
He has like crazy powers.
Like
Like there's a fucking other scene where he's like levitating on his bed that we fucking missed, but like Mulder and Scully have kind of figured it out, and they're like trying to stop this surgery because she's gonna die during
Mulder's
the surgery.
Trying to find this guy while Scully's fucking trying to make the surgery. Fucking figure that out.
In the meantime, he's like cutting off his face.
He just peels off his face.
It's pretty gruesome shit he's peeling.
Mulder
off his
gets
face.
there too late, and then the fucking final scene is just like, he's come back as this young, really good-looking doctor that's doing an interview at the hospital to get hired.
It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. He gets away with it, and now he's this youthful doctor at another hospital, and we cut to black. This episode was written by like 2 fans of the show. They took it in as a submission and kind of reworked it and played it out. It was pretty decent. Like, the gore was good in the episode. You had all this weird Satanist shit going on and rituals, and overall I thought it was a pretty good episode.
They were doing fucking blood rituals to maintain youthfulness, like real world fucking Jew elites actually do when they drink the adrenochrome.
Well, who knows if that's real, but
Well, that's how they stay youthful. They fucking drink the adrenochrome. They do blood rituals.
I don't know. They might do blood rituals or whatever. I don't know. I don't think adrenochrome's a real thing. I think it was invented by Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it's not real. But who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows?
Well, it is a real thing, buddy. It's just they haven't been able to isolate it in a fucking lab and, like, in the fucking surface level
I don't know.
of what we see.
I mean, what evidence do you really have that that's what's going on? Other than, like, some YouTube videos saying that. Like, I don't.
Well, do you not know about Pizzagate, buddy?
That's right, bros. That's right, bro.
You not know about that?
I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that they're fucking drinking adrenochrome. They might be doing.
Well, then why are they doing blood rituals if it's not to drink adrenochrome?
It could be for any number of reasons. They do all sorts of weird shit.
Well,
the spirit
regardless whether it's adrenochrome or not, they're doing the blood rituals to maintain youthfulness. Just like in the episode. So it was cool that the episode touched on those real world ideas. It talked about the concept of vanity and the vanity of the doctors. It fucking...
Yeah, there was commentary on, like, the idea of plastic surgery and things like this and beauty standards and stuff like that. It was decent enough. I mean, the episode wasn't super coherent in its story. It kind of lost me at points there. It wasn't maybe the best structured script in the world, but again, it was written by first-time writers.
Oh, I thought it was perfectly structured. You're just confused when the fucking nurse, because you didn't know whether the nurse was on their side working with them or why she attacked the doctor. But it's because she was trying to fucking protect these people from the doctor.
I don't know. I think a lot of audiences would be confused watching this episode and not know what the fuck was going on. I mean, even David Duchovny, when he read the script, said he liked it, but he didn't know what the fuck was going on in it.
Well, and she was there for the murders 10 years ago, so she knew what was going on, so she was trying to stop it. But the other guy's black magic was stronger.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you...
I'd give it an 8.2.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Gonna...
It was a fucking gruesome episode with the good ideas in it.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was a pretty good episode. I liked all the gruesome, the gore to it, the satanic stuff. It was good. It was a good step up from the last episode. It wasn't the best episode of the series or anything like that, but it was a good, solid episode. I could have given it a 7 or something, but I'm going to give it an 8 because I liked it personally. I think that... What do you got? Anything else, or are we just going to go on?
No, that's it. Let's watch the fucking musings of the cigarette.
It's
smoker.
time
You
for
know,
the
I've been looking
musings of
forward
the
to
cigarette
this one.
smoking, man. It's gonna be a good episode there, guys.